I know that without them I wouldn't even be here to thank them. I just can't thank them enough for everything they've done and how they've supported me.
So Daisy was walking to school and Linda and Tommy were also en route to school where they saw Daisy crumple, so they got out their car and attended to Daisy.
And then the ambulance asked where I was and I said 3 Connaught, and they said what town, and I said Huntington, and then they asked for me for postcode, but I didn't know obviously what the postcode was, and luckily
I pulled up what 3 words on my phone, and then we found out what was actually where she actually was, and they came like that. It was
and
amazing.
Then the first responder, Charlie,
it was all very, very quick.
Within minutes, but she, as we were there, she took her last breath.
I could instantly recognise that they were in cardiac arrest because they were blue. Checked for the breathing, the pulse, there was nothing there. Got the pads out from the defibrillator and we put the pads on the patient. We recognised that the patient was in VF, which is a shockable rhythm. So we gave 1 shock and I started the CPR.
Fortunately, we had quite a good outcome very, very quickly into our efforts, and we sustained life within Daisy. Our colleagues from MAGPAS shortly followed behind.
So when we arrived, Daisy had suffered a cardiac arrest but had been resuscitated by the ambulance crews. She was still critically unwell, she was unconscious, she was struggling with her breathing.
At that point we put Daisy in a medically induced coma, put her on a ventilator and gave her medication to support her blood pressure before taking her to the Children's Intensive Care at Adam Brooks Hospital.
So when we arrived at Adam Brooks Hospital, we had a team waiting for us. We'd rang ahead in advance to get all the specialists that we needed present. We provided a handover all the care that Daisy'd had up to the point of us arriving at the hospital. And at that point, it's then just a waiting game, really. We can see that her carbon dioxide levels are good, her oxygen levels on the monitor are good, her blood pressure's okay, but we don't really know ultimately what the outcome's going to be.
To actually see her alive and realise that, you know, she's just normal again and there's no damage and
she's so lovely.
Yeah,
like,
from when we did last see her to now, it's
great.
Overwhelming.
It is a lot, yeah.
Really lovely.
It kind of changes kind of lasting memory of that job as well, because quite often when we go to these sorts of jobs, our lasting memory is how we saw them when we initially kind of came into contact with them. So in Daisy's case, on the floor. So it's really lovely to see her up chatting and just being her normal self.
They brought Daisy round to meet us.
And it was really nice to see her. It was very emotional.
A bit emotional, lots of tears. I was speaking to the mum as well and telling the mum what had happened. And Daisy isn't allowed to walk to school, so we now drive her to school, and we've got a really good friendship with Lisa and John.
See you every morning.
Yeah.
So, just have a little chat now. It's great.